Hello everyone and welcome to a very special interview. We're here at EWS Crom Montana with none other than nuke-proof SRAM factory racing Sam Hill, 3 times an EWS overall title winner. Sam, how are you?
Yeah, I'm going good. It's been a up and down season so far, but looking forward to these last couple of rounds and trying to finish off strongly.
Maybe not the season you would have been hoping for in terms of results towards the start of it, but the last round, EWS Sugarloaf back into the top 10. That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it was awesome. Felt, don't know, something mentally felt different in me that day, and it was nice to have that feeling back, and that's sort of what I've been looking for all year, so hopefully I can keep that going in these next couple of rounds.
You'd second place on the 4th stage there. Do you know that that's a run? Do you know what I mean? Do you know that, like, can you feel the difference of like going, being right up the sharp end of it, or is it just still sort of see how everybody shakes out?
No, I definitely knew that I was riding how I wanted to that whole weekend. Crashed in the pro stage and still had a semi-decent result. So coming into Sunday, I was looking forward to turning it up and trying to just focus and race forward and have that racer mentality.
Do you think that the pace of EWS racing has increased? I mean, Jack came in from downhill and just really blew everyone away, didn't he? He was just fast everywhere, and that's kind of moved Richie up, it's moved Jesse up, Martin's up there now. Do you think that pace level's gone up in the last couple of seasons?
I don't think the all-out speed has got much faster, but I think say between like 3rd and 30th place riders is definitely all improved, and everyone's a lot closer in times, and I think that is pushing those top guys each and every stage. So I think that's where the little mistakes are starting to become more of a factor, and you do have to be a lot more precise and put together clean, fast stages.
Now, one of the big reasons we're here to talk to you today is that we are heading towards what will hopefully be a title decider, that it's coming right down to the wire. How difficult is it to win an EWS overall title? You've done it more than anyone else. How tricky is it?
I guess Jesse's in the perfect position right now. He's got a pretty comfortable points lead, I think, and he's just got to play it smart and finish these next couple of rounds, and he should be sweet for taking the title, I think. But yeah, it's definitely all 3 of the ones I won were all different scenarios. And
what was the toughest one you won?
I'd say probably the last one, when I sort of had a few setbacks that year, and I was always chasing down Florian, and it came to the last round, and I basically had to pull something out of the hat to make it happen. And yeah, I guess just sort of chasing it that whole year, and then finally getting it done was pretty awesome. What
goes through your head as a racer? I mean, you arrived, actually, we are where we're sitting now, Switzerland, in Zermatt. I think you won that title by 40 points.
Yeah.
Your demeanour was visibly different from Florian's. Do you know what I mean? It was like you were there to do the job of work. Do you know what I mean? And what's going through your mind as a racer on the way into that race? What are you focusing on? I
was just focused on myself, really, and I knew I needed to get whatever the position was, or however many spots in front of Florian to win it. And obviously I was going there to be number 1 again, and that was my whole goal going in there. So like you say, it was sort of just, I was there to do the job, and you never know with racing, things could go the right way or the wrong way, but that turned out well that weekend.
I mean, you've won so many titles in your career. Is it a difficult one to shut out? Do you know what I mean? Like a silly crash somewhere and the whole year's for nothing. Do you know what I mean? Is that still a difficult one to deal with, or is your experience, does it pay dividends in that situation?
I don't think you can ever sort of count yourself out, or you'll never be a champion, because I think that whole year in 2019 wasn't looking great for me.
You were ill at the start here, weren't you?
Yeah, I was really sick at the first couple of rounds, and then I had a puncture and a time penalty at the French round, which cost me quite a bit of a good result, because I think I could have been up there. So yeah, I think everything was trying to sort of tell me you couldn't do it that year, but I think it's for anyone who wins a title, it never comes easy, and you can never give up on yourself.
Well, another person who has won a couple of titles, Richie Rude, can't be counted out. What do you think Richie's biggest strengths as a racer are heading into the end of this season?
I think he needs to sort of just focus on himself, and he needs to try and win these 2 rounds and the Queen and Pro stages and get as many points as he can for himself.
Do you think this is somewhere that suits Richie? I mean, we rode yesterday and the top half of the stages here, very, very fast, upper body strength. He's a big, big guy. Do you think it'll play to his advantage here? But Jesse's looking very fast as well.
Yeah, I don't know if either of those 2 guys have a strength over the other one when you race an enduro, because where Richie might be a bit stronger than Jesse, Jesse's probably going to be that much stronger on another section of that same stage. So I think all year they've been pretty evenly matched, and Jesse's made the least amount of mistakes this year.
I'm impressed out with Jesse because he's really gone from someone who always had that speed, but maybe not the consistency, to standing on the verge of a title now.
Yeah, I think that's come from just sort of growing and getting the experience over these years and maturing a little bit, and he's definitely built himself into that consistent fast racer every weekend.
He's great to watch as well, not unlike yourself. Do you know what I mean? He really he throws everything at every stage.
Yeah, he's definitely all out and an exciting rider to watch.
We want to talk as well about just sort of that mindset of 2 racers going at each other. Do you think about the other guy, or do you just focus on what you're doing?
I think from my experience, the best thing you can do is just to focus on yourself and what you've got to do, because you can't control what they're doing or how fast they're going or anything like that. All you can control is what you're up to yourself.
We need to talk about as well about Isabelle Courdurier. She had that horrific foot injury at EWSE Valberg. Josh Carlson and I quickly jumped in front of some cameras and said that we probably wouldn't see her again for the rest of the year. She went to the States, I think she got a 4th, a 7th, and then she won the last race there. She's standing on the brink of a title herself. How impressed have you been with Isabelle this year?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen photos of that foot injury, and it looked pretty savage and brutal. So yeah, I was surprised to see her back in North America rounds, and just it's like what I said before, she's a champion, and she's won the title before, and she knows what it takes, and she's obviously not giving up or letting anyone take that away from her. So
it's just the toughness, isn't it, to be able to do that. Well, I think she was wearing a shoe that was too big for her for that foot, and then to round off that last block with a win, you've got to take your hat off to her. Like, it's an impressive display.
Yeah, she's an incredible rider, and she's definitely one of the most technically best female riders out there, I think, and that sort of shines through with the results.
Now, I mean, it's going to take a lot to stop Isabelle winning the title, but who's your money on for the pro men's?
I'm going to have to put my money on Jesse. I think he's got a comfortable points lead, so I think he'll bring it home.
What mindset, if you were in his position, you've got the title lead, are you pushing for those wins, or are you just keeping Richie in touch and distance the whole time?
I'd probably be riding, a little bit safe, a little bit on the back foot, and trying to put in a couple of solid results, and if a win's there, then take it. But if you got to get a 3rd or a 4th for 2 rounds, it's going to bring you a title, and that's, I'd imagine, is his goal for the year, rather than a couple of race wins.
There's a lot of management now as well, isn't there, in Enduro, because you've got, the pro stage, the Queen stage, there's points for grabs all over the place. Will they be checking on the standings throughout the race and trying to work out where the other one is and what they need to do, or do you just ride your own race, as you say?
Yeah, like, they're both in totally different positions. I think Richie's needs every point he can get, and he's going to have to hang it out and push hard for those points. And Jesse's just got to be smart, and he's got the speed, and he's proved that all year. So he's got to keep his bike together and make it to the finish line of both these rounds.
Now, you mentioned earlier on that 3rd title of yours meant the most because you had to win it from behind. It was a tough slog. Is there one EWS round that stands out for you in those 3 titles? Like one race where you were like, yeah, that was me, like at my best?
I'd probably say 2018, the start of that year. I came in there feeling a bit sick, and actually think things went really well at Chile and Colombia, and then even going to Petson for round 3. So I'd have to look back at those races and think that was some of my best racing.
You know, that was my second year of covering the Enduro World Series, and what really impressed me about that 2018 season was that it felt like you and Cecile just got on this roll, and we're just like, you know, if you were on a bike, you were the fastest ones there.
Yeah, as a racer, you kind of build that confidence, and you know that yourself. So that obviously helps a lot.
What advice would you give to, you know, the people heading out to maybe their first enduro race ever at their local track this weekend? Like, what would be the big Sam Hill mantra that they should just be thinking about and keeping their minds out?
Just go and have fun, and always when I have fun, I ride good. So that would definitely be the first part of the day, and just manage your day and get through it the best you can, and try and stay consistent throughout the stages.
Finally then, what does 2023 hold for Sam Hill?
Hopefully some champagne and some podiums. So yeah, looking forward to trying to close this year out on a high note, and then we'll start building again for next year, and feeling pretty excited. So
Sam, look, thank you so much for giving us your time. It's been great to catch up. Don't forget, you can follow all the exciting finale to this season's Enduro World Series right here on our YouTube channel, as well as on our social media channels. Thanks for watching.